In spring, finally, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was born and raised in Bogota, Colombia, and no married to the story, but everything there, every day, every moment is a wild thing. So even the job, and one of the jobs that I had down there, I'm involved in film and photography, and I was working. I landed this job as an assistant director for a short film that was going to be funded by the UNICEF. And they wanted to make a series of short films about children's rights. and they were going to be shooting each one of these films in different 5 continents. So the continent down in the Americas, actually I think they gave us one for South America and one for North America. There was a little pressure from the North Americans. But we were shot in Colombia. They chose a director there that did a lot of stuff with kids. And at the time, it was like late 80s, early 90s. The thing that was happening was that Pablo Escobar, the big drug lord, was killing politicians and killing everybody that was trying to catch him, to send him and be extradited to the United States. That was the big political, one of the many political tensions going on down there. So what he had done was that he had grown up in like in the very poor neighborhoods in another city called Medellin, and he had recruited kids. That was his army. Was all his assassins and his hitmen were kids underage and very, very, very poor and tough kids. And he would like train them and provide the weapons, and they would kill for $5,000. They would kill anybody, and they would get some cash because they were like totally in poverty. So that was his strategy, which was pretty outrageous. And the Minister of Defense was establishing a relationship with the United States so that if the Pablo Escobar and any other drug dealers were caught, they were going to be judged and went sent to prison in the United States because he was so powerful that he would like bribe the judges and he would get out every time he was caught. So that was what this Minister of Defense was doing, and Pablo Escobar put a hit on him. And he was killed, and the cops killed it. They put 2 kids on a motorcycle, and the kid that was driving was shot dead, and the kid that actually was the hitman was caught. And like it was a big scandal because when they captured him and they took off his helmet, he was like this 13-year-old kid, which was kind of like shocking for everybody, even down there. So the film, because it was about children's rights, it was going to tell the story of one of these kids. So the challenge was that, you know, we have a history of filmmaking down there, but it's very narrative, very theatrical. No explosions, no car crashes, no stunts, because there's not that kind of industry down there. Stunts are a thing that you get in, like in Hollywood, in Europe, in Canada, but like down there to get a stunt was a difficult thing to do. So, but there was a big budget, and the guy that was producing was this French guy that used to produce films for Godard. So he came to Colombia with like a bag full of money and said, let's make the movie. So we wrote the movie, and we knew what we wanted to do. And I was working as an assistant director, and one of the things that I did was I knew a lot of people. For some, I don't really know why, but I knew a lot of people of all kinds of different parts of society. For some, I knew very wealthy people, I knew very poor people, I knew good people, lots of bad people. And I got along with bad people because bad people are very straightforward. It was like, fuck with me, I'll kill you. And it's like, it works very well. There's no confusion or misinterpretations. If you fucked up, you're dead. And if you're alive, things are okay. So one of my jobs was to find the kids that could do the motorcycle. So I never did the motorcycle thing, but I had friends that were mechanics. And they knew the kids that they did motocross. And for some reason they do motocross with a guy in the back. I don't know why. But have you ever seen that? It's like motocross with 2 guys. And the guy in the back is called like the parrillero, and that's what they do. So we figure, okay, we'll get 2 of those guys to play the balón. And we get 2 of those guys to drive the motorcycle, and then let's find some stunts. So we went to the Yellow Pages and we found like a school of stunts in Bogota. So we go there and we're like, okay, we need to see what you guys can do. And it's like, okay, we'll meet you at the park. We show at the park, and this guy shows up with like a new scooter. And we're like, okay, it's not looking good. And it's like, okay, this is the scene. Is like, you guys are like the guys that killed the Minister of Justice, and then the cops shoot you down, and you crash, and the motorcycle explodes. And like, so show us what you can do. So the guys get on the scooter, and they go, pop, 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 pop. And then the guy goes, ah! And then they drop the motorcycle and they go, ah. And I'm like, okay, you shoot it really tight. We can pull this one out. And the French guy is like freaking out. He's like, I remember, that was like 1989. He had $10,000 for the stunt. And there was like 10 every time. If you do the stunt 3 times, it's $30,000. So it was a lot of money. So we're like, okay, that's what we have. So we go, and then we have the other 2 kids that are going to be driving the motorcycle and shoot the minister in the car. We have a professional car driver driving the car. So it's all set. And we get a round point in the city, and it's all closed. So we have like the cars coming into the round point, and then they go around like 3 or 4 times until they pick up like 40 miles an hour. Then the stunts and the motorcycle come in, and they start driving around them. And then they do the farce of the shooting, and then you cut, and the motorcycle goes away. The escorts of like the cops that are protecting the Minister of Defense go after the cop. After the kids in the motorcycle shoot them down. So we have like 4 cameras set up all over the place. Everybody's very nervous, and so the kids are. There's no access to weapons there. Bad people have weapons, and military and cops have weapons. You can't have a gun, unlike here. So as uncivilized as we are, you can't just have a gun. So for that, and so you have to get the cops involved. The cops show up and they bring the guns and they bring like the fake bullets and everything at the table there. We only have the day of the shooting to learn how to use these things. And the kids on the motorcycle show up and the cop is like, are you guys familiar with the weapons? And the kids are like, kind of. They're like, okay. So I was like, show me what you can do, and if you're not doing something wrong, I'll point out some directions. So the kids get the weapon. Very comfortable with it. We're like, okay, that's looking good for the movie. And so they throw out the car, the first car, there's a camera in the car, there's a camera car in front of everybody, and 3 more cameras set all over the place. And they start driving the stunt car, and then the motorcycle kids come out. And the kid that is driving the motorcycle. The kid in the back has these cowboy boots, and he has a big nail on the heel of his boots. Like all the way into his heel, it's like a big nail that comes out like an inch. And these guys are driving 40 miles an hour next to the car. It's an old Mercedes-Benz, blue. And this kid is holding a Uzi on this side. The car is coming this way. They're doing 40 miles an hour. He leans back. He's not holding the guy because he's holding the gun. He's just holding with his legs. He lets go of this leg, and with his nail on his boot, he hooks up onto the handle of the car, 40 miles an hour. And the guy is keeping it. He comes like this, shoots, let's go, and they stop and cut. These guys are pumped. They're like, whoa! We're like, and the cops are a little suspicious. And we do like 3 or 4 times, and the kids do it perfectly every time. So we got that. Now, comes the stunt. And the kids, the stunt guys come out, and they have wrapped themselves in bandages, and then they put their costumes on top of the bandages. And we're like, okay, so what are we going to do? So I come up with that. This is how I started my career in film. I said, I think we should shoot it wide and get the whole action, just in case. And if it doesn't work, we push it in post. You just go with, like in those days we were shooting film, you can go with another camera, shoot the negative, and make it as tight as possible. But you can't go the other way around. If you shoot a close-up, you can't make it wider. So everybody goes like, okay, that's a good idea. Let's shoot wide. So we go there, and I talked to the kids, and he said, this is what we're going to do. You're going to do the stunt, and then when you're done, don't move. Nobody moves until I come up to you and you say, okay, get up and move. Because for continuity, just in case you have to do it again or do pickup shots or whatever. So okay, that's the deal. And we do the thing, okay, so okay, they come out in the motorcycle, and like the fake cops come out and they shoot them, and these guys hit, they start like skidding around, and it's coming out great. They hit the sidewalk, the motorcycle flips around, comes down and explodes for real. There's no explosions in the motorcycle. They are run down on the ground, they're down like this, and they're totally still, and we are all like, holy cow. The French producer, I think he literally pissed his pants. He was like, he was wearing like pink pants, I remember. He peed his pants. And we were like, oh my God, these kids are dead. And we come up, we were like, okay, are you guys okay? And they were okay. And the French dude, comes up, and we have given them like $200 for the stunt. And the guy gave him the $30,000.